Hello, everybody. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. Dino will be out here in just a couple of minutes. Got something on my shirt. Um, it's been raining and thundering here in Wisconsin. Just a little thunderstorm. I hope it cools things off because it's been kind of warm up here in the 70s yesterday, but today it's in the 80s. I did my best.
Have you ever heard your best wasn't good enough?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Well, I tried anyway. What can I say?
Just
Here it
saying.
is. Just saying. We can't have two computers up here for some reason, so she's gonna have to
Well, I didn't
grit her teeth, and sit beside me.
want two computers.
Oh, did you not?
No, I didn't.
Okay. We'll give you the other one to do the Dakota.
No, I'm just gonna chat.
Okay. Do you want to sit over beside me where I don't have to turn my computer?
How much closer can I get?
So I don't know, but I don't know
can't.
why am I having to turn my computer this way. I don't know. We'll work with it.
I can sit in your lap. You want me to sit in your lap?
No, but I ought to be able to put it. I don't know. I don't know how it is. It's rather warm in here, though. Did I tell you that?
No, you didn't.
It's rather warm in here. But anyway,
if we turn the air on, then we can't heat. They can't hear us.
Yeah, but can you turn the fan on?
No, because they can't hear us.
Well, it's gonna be hot. A few minutes in here, it's gonna be very hot.
Okay, well, in a few minutes, I'll do that.
Okay. How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's doing good tonight.
You do realize we should have had this conversation before we were on air, right?
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
But I didn't realize how hot it was. I even had to put something on the computer to keep it from warming my legs up. Got some sad news tonight. You remember I know y'all remember the girl we covered. I'll put her thing out. This girl here, she was found, her father and them, I remember me telling you that they hired a private investigator. Well, he hired a helicopter pilot, and they went out and tried to locate her car. And they did find her car in a ravine, is the way I understand it. It ran off the road, involved in an accident, and she was ejected from the car and killed, they believe, on impact. They haven't said exactly, but she was deceased from a car accident. So that's a sad outcome to that missing person case. But their key was correct. If they found the car, they felt like they would find her. And unfortunately, this is what happened. Either she was going too fast or the road was slick, or we don't know why, but she left the road, she was ejected, and she was killed. So obviously she either did not have her seatbelt on, or it broke somehow or another. I wanted to talk about, we have the Summer Wells case going on where the 5-year-old is missing. And it's a strange situation. We have another 5-year-old that's missing also. Michael Vaughan, he's out of Fruitland, Idaho. And this is his picture here. And I don't know why my computer puts the certain things in blue. I have not been able to figure out how to take that off yet.
Because you searched for those two things.
Maybe. Fruitland police need your help in finding a missing 5-year-old boy, Michael Joseph Vaughan, who responds to the nickname Monkey. Was reported missing at 7:30 p.m. Tuesday. Michael was last seen on foot at 6:30 Tuesday evening near the home in the southwest 9th Avenue or 9th Street in Fruitland. Michael is considered missing and endangered He was last seen wearing a blue Minecraft t-shirt, dark blue boxer briefs, and is 43 inches tall, weighs 50 pounds, blonde hair, blue eyes. Local law enforcement, EMS agencies, community members joined the search for Michael. Those efforts included vehicles, foot aerial searches with, I know they used drones with thermal imaging, St. Luke's helicopter, um, Fruitland police forward-looking infrared thermal imaging, and used with no success. Now, the problem with this is, and you'll see when we get more into this, is he disappeared completely off the map, and they have a large sexual offender population in their city and in the side city next to them, and they have a low amount of manpower of the police department. I'm saying like maybe 3 or 4 officers, but they've got FBI involved, and they got the Idaho. I think they have a state police involved, but still, uh, it's looking more like, when I examine the case, just what I know, and it's not very much, is that he may have been picked up, and that's unfortunate. This is a copy of the one of the posters for him, telling a little bit about it. I'll let you read that on your own. I wanted to show you a couple of things real quick, and then we can go back over to the narrative a little bit. This is another picture of him. He's just a little fella, just a very, very little fella.
Yes, he is.
This let me go get this out big. I can't see it. Fruitland, Idaho. After 6 days since his last seen, law enforcement and Federal Bureau of Investigation are continuing to search for Michael Vaughan, 5 years old. Last seen between 6:30 and 7:15 on July 27th in the area of Southwest 8th Street, Southwest 9th Street, and Cornwell Way in Fruitland, Idaho. Michael has blonde hair, blue eyes, 3'7", 50 pounds. Last seen wearing a Minecraft t-shirt, and we already said that. On Monday night, Fruitland Police Department received an update on the search for Michael. They brought in experts in various fields, and basically they just can't come up with anything at all from the residents or otherwise. They're asking all the residents again to check their property and their game cams and all this, but this is not a rural area. Okay, let me show you some maps, and I took the address of where he was missing. First off, I'm going to show this picture, and it shows a picture of the shirt he was wearing. And he's not even got pants. He's got boxers on. He's got underwear on.
He goes by the name of Monkey.
Right. Goes by the name of Monkey. That's his Minecraft t-shirt.
No, MH, they have not found door cams that show anything.
Well, I don't know that they didn't find a door cam that saw his last known location.
Yeah.
This is a Google Earth picture of the area, the housing area that he lived in. And it's just pretty basic side of farmland. This is another picture. That red dot was, according to everything that I gathered, was the last place, his known last location. And I copied it straight from the police information online, and I ran it through Google Earth. And this is the last known location, is the end of the street. And that would be the intersection here that you see in this picture. And of course, this field And I went to Google Earth and put like on Street View, and it shows this way is a dead end. This other way leads or down the street, apparently that maybe he lived on, I'm not sure. And this one goes out to the other side, the other street, and this one goes to the field. Now, here's the deal with this. This picture apparently was taken in the fall or early summer because the fields have not grown up. This time of year, the fields ought to be in full working order. So if they have corn there, say, he could be lost anywhere in that cornfield. If they have soybean, he could be laying down between the soybean, or cotton or whatever. So we just don't know what kind of foliage is in that field to say, hey, this is where this guy is missing from. This right here is a dot where he's missing from, but you see his little town here, and then right across the river there is a lots bigger town. But just in his area of within the Pickens area, which is that, including that city over there, and where he lives, there's 137 sex offenders. Wow. And I looked at the most of them. I started to go through and just see how many are actual under the age of 16 assault pedophiles, and I didn't see anyone that was not involved under the age of 16 or not a rape. So, he's there's plenty of sex offenders in the area for them to check, and they are checking everywhere, and they have not found him. So, and this is what I know a lot of people is going to say, why do they let their 5-year-old, and I agree with them, why do they let their 5-year-old out to play on the street? But apparently it's a small, tight-knit community, and his parents had just let him go to the street to play with other kids. Now, I'm wondering what these other kids are saying, because they haven't mentioned other kids at all. They haven't mentioned how they basically mentioned an address of where he was last seen. Now, I don't know if that's seen on door cam or how. They're not being very forward about that. But it does raise questions as why in the world parents let a 5-year-old go out and play in the street with his friends. You know what I mean? This is a poster of him, and it gives 4 pictures of him to get a better idea. And I know they did not want him to go far because he was wearing his blue boxer briefs. Okay, let's see. I wanted to play a little video for you. If I hope that I got this right. This is a press conference that the police had involving this, and it's just listen to the parents. I did not play it all.
I appreciate you guys. I thank you for being out here today. And having said that, would the family like to speak to this at all? Not.
I just want to thank the community and all the enforcement agencies that have been continuously, tirelessly looking for him, and anybody that has any information, please contact the Fruitland PD. We just want our monkey home. We just miss our baby and we want him home.
Anything helps. Anything.
Okay. Thank you guys. All right.
Hey everyone.
Now, I had actually got that off the internet. I don't know what that snuck up in there behind it, but I listened to about 25 different people talk about this, and excuse me, that was my other picture the other day that I showed everybody from our drug unit. MH, you said that you read where um, he had snuck out while the other father was changing changing the other baby's diaper. I had not read that. I read everything I could, but I hadn't read that. I thought, when the parents talking there, he was rubbing her hand. She was definitely upset. I didn't get anything bad from that. I'm sure that the father is. They say the police department chief said that the family is being very cooperative, completely cooperative now. I'm not sure if they've polygraphed the parents yet or what, but there's only two. We know there's basically two alternatives here, that either he walked off and fell in a hole or fell somewhere, and they will find him, but they've done extensive search, FLIR and everything. Or he got picked up by somebody when he went outside. Somebody took him. I mean, there's not many with the Summer Wells situation. There's not many either, but with the Summer Wells, you could theoretically say that she ran to the woods and crawled under a rock, or whatever. I mean, you could make that argument. I don't believe it. I don't believe that's what happened, but because her house is surrounded by woods, I mean, you could make that argument. But with this kid, you basically have a neighborhood. You have at the end of the field there a some type of agricultural thing, which if it's corn and it's high, he could have went out there and fell and or got bit by a snake or something and is incapacitated. But when they use that FLIR out there over the corn, there's a very high possibility that the FLIR will pick it up. I mean, it's not, if it's corn, if it's any other thing, you probably could be able to see him. It would just be, it would be very, I guess, almost unbelievable if they had not found him with drones and on foot and horseback and all kinds of stuff like that. It's it's hard to believe they haven't found him already. So I hope, we all.
What in the
I don't know
world?
why I'm yawning so much. I didn't have my nap this afternoon, I
No,
guess.
I need to slap you around, wake you up.
I didn't have any time to lay down, and I didn't sleep.
One.
I didn't sleep that well last night. But I haven't heard anything else.
Jesse Diane says yes, he was changing the baby's diaper.
Okay, so we get this. He's changing the baby's diaper,
And the little one snuck out.
and the little one snuck out. And I wonder how they got him on. They know his last area that he was seen at because, you've got a maybe a door cam when he was walking or whatever.
Yeah, Lake Superior. We don't live in a time like that anymore. We really don't. There's not, as parents today, they can't turn their back on their children for a half a second. I mean,
And there is a creek, a river that I think they are going to send sonar boats and sonar and stuff like that. But but it's a long ways off. It's all the way through that field, and we'll show you a picture of it in a minute. And it's a long ways off, and there's an interstate, but it's a good ways off in the other direction also. Um, Bishop, you said y'all were turning loose. Yeah, in the summertime, it was nothing for us when I was 12, 13, 14 to be down at the end of our street playing and then hide and go seek or something. We were all down there. In fact, my mother used to walk down the street at right when the street lights came on and holler for me to come home. I mean and I don't even remember how old I was. I was probably 10 to 12 or around 12 years old or so, maybe 10. But we're talking 5 years old. We're not talking about that. Huh?
He's been gone 6 days.
Yes.
So that would be Wednesday. He came up missing of last week.
Yeah, he's been gone 6 days. And let me go back to those pictures and take a look at this a little bit closer. As far as, you can we'll take a big look at it. That, and pretty much center of that picture, and then you go to the right of the center a little bit. That's where they're saying, you'll be able to see it in a minute. I got another angle for it, basically. But right here, that red dot is in the center. That is the street that they gave the address where he was last seen. So you're saying that field behind there is probably 4 to 5 blocks deep in both directions. Is probably a quarter to half mile.
It looks like it's about 6 blocks.
Yeah, it may be. It's a long way, and depending on what type of foliage or plants they have growing in there, if it's like, I don't know if y'all have ever been out in a cornfield that's grown up high in corn. It's not easy to get through, even if you walk down between the rows.
It's scary.
Well, it's not easy. Nowadays I know they do no-till corn and stuff like that, but still, even at that, it's not easy because it is disc up, and it's not like you're just walking across a field, I don't. And then right here, you can see this is the intersection he was last seen at. Whether they got him on a door cam, they got him on somebody saw him, I don't know. But right here, but like I said, we're not sure what the this field is planted in now.
So somebody said he went to a neighbor's house to see if their child could come out and play with him, and they told him no.
Okay, well, that must be the last place they saw him at. I just,
They call me a overprotective parent if they want to. I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, you look at this kid now. I mean, he's just a little fella, and he basically doesn't have any pants on. He just has underwear on, and this shirt he had on, and I don't know why didn't the neighbor call his parents and say, "Hey,
well, maybe that was normal."
5 years old.
Well, I'm in the neighborhood. It may have been.
How old is me?
Listen, it may have been normal for this neighborhood, for these group of neighbors.
How old is Mia?
Mia is like 7 now.
Yeah, but I would not Mia's age.
Well, not now, but Tommy, when our children were little.
Yeah, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about now, this area. Sure, what I'm saying is, yes, they may have. I mean, at the end of our street, we'd have 25, 30 kids down there playing all the way to dark. But it was a dead-end street. There were houses on both sides. The parents were real aware of what was going on. All the houses, and I could go to any house out there and stay the night, for that matter, as long as my parents knew about it. I mean, everybody knew everybody. But in between my house and the end of the street, I didn't know many people. I knew a few, but I didn't know a whole lot. And it was
now
about
people don't know
it was about 200 yards.
Most people don't know their neighbors now, but this is a small little community. It looks like right there. You know that one street.
Yeah,
It's a dead end. Maybe they know each other. Maybe it was normal. I don't
yeah.
know.
I don't know, but they have two other children, is the way I understand it, or maybe they don't. Maybe I'm thinking of something else.
So Jesse says that's what some of us are asking, and I'm trying to figure out what it is. Somebody must have. Yeah, a child can be snatched very easy.
Yeah, and with all these
And
sex
yeah,
offenders in the area, and just think, a sex offender does not have to live where they snatch him. I mean, if
no,
they could be they could be driving around for an opportune time to get some kid, and they could live somewhere else, and they're fairly close to the interstate. I say they're probably 5 miles from the interstate or less. It's the interstate runs just north of their town, so it's not like somebody couldn't come through there and was just looking at an opportune time to take one of these kids, or they could also, hello Karen, they could also just had been stalking this neighborhood. Somebody was planning on snatching some kid off this neighborhood, and at the time that it was just the opportune time. I know that I've read several books on serial killers. I've always been very interested in serial killers, and I've read and watched every movie about them. I've read all kinds of books I've read all kinds of books on them,
I didn't know you
and
could see those eyes.
yeah, I can see it. And a lot of them, what they said was they didn't plan their murders. It was opportunity. When the opportunity arose for them to snatch somebody, they snatched them, and this. I mean, it was just an opportunity thing, but it's not like it was pre-planned. Um,
What was it that preacher used to say? The opportunity of a lifetime must be taken during
and
the
the
lifetime
lifetime
of
of
the
the
opportunity.
opportunity, right? But
Buddy's in Tennessee. I got a nephew named Buddy that lives in Nashville.
yeah. Uh,
How long did it take for the parents to report to the police?
I'm not 100% sure. I was wondering that. I read somewhere it was fairly quick. Uh, here's the thing though. You got to understand, if I think he disappeared between 6:30 and 7:30, and I think it was a little after 7:30 that the police heard. So about an hour. But if you go outside, if you're used to having your kids play in the street, if they're used to be playing with the neighbors, and they're used to just walking out of the house, apparently this kid was, then right up front, you might not pick up the phone right away and say, I need police, my child's missing, because it wouldn't be that unusual for him to be outside the house
Well, plus you
in the
want to
street.
search the house,
Right.
the
And I'm sure
backyard, the
he
front
searched the
yard.
house, backyard, front yard. He may have even walked down the street. He may even went to the neighbor's
Right.
house and said, Hey, have you seen a monkey? And they say no. And they said, Oh yeah, he was here. He was wanting so and so to get out. And then they searched a little bit more, but after a while you think, Hey, I need some help. I can't do this by myself. So now I'm gonna call the police. But I'm gonna tell you too, there's a lot of embarrassment around losing your child this way and calling the police. There's a whole lot of embarrassment. So a lot of people will do anything pretty much extra they can before they make that call.
But
And
Tommy, that's true
know,
about just about anything because
yeah,
when those people tried to break in on me, and the time that they did in on me, look over there, look, see it?
there's a deer across the road.
I'm sorry, y'all. There was a cute little deer across the road. Oh,
It's
baby.
a baby deer.
Anyway, I didn't call the police because I was embarrassed because I thought, well, what if I just hurt? I was hearing
And that's
somebody at
that's
the
the thing
backyard.
that I say about but because I come from law enforcement, um, and I used to tell people before I went to investigations, I was in patrol, and I used to tell people all the time, if you like, I'd go to a prowler call and there'd be nothing there, and I tell people, she'd say, "Oh well, I hated to call you." No, these what these I tell everybody, this is what these guys are out there for. They would rather answer calls and find nothing than
That's
go
right.
out there and answer a call and find the worst things or get a report of somebody dead or raped or whatever. And the fact is, when you're riding around out there at night and things are slow, it makes a long, long night. I always loved when it was very busy. I wanted if I could get call after call after call after call, I loved it because the night did not, it just flew by. I don't want to bother Ellie for nothing, but I guess you're right. Yeah, I mean, you're not going to bother him for nothing.
That's what
And
they get paid
I'm
for.
gonna tell you something honestly. There, I would much rather have be busy at night, checking houses, checking for somebody, And another thing too, please don't do this. If you have something small stolen from your house, go ahead and call the police. You can tell them, look, I don't want to report, but I want to make you aware of it because they need to know if so and so's getting stuff stolen here, so and so's getting stuff stolen here. Then if they need to watch those neighborhoods a little bit
Because
more
it could
closer,
escalate.
right? Or they could have a big, huge burglary. I'd worked big burglaries on houses where they got in and stole like $20,000, $30,000 worth of stuff, and the people say, well, we had one of our neighbors had their shed broken into. It didn't take anything. I know it happened like 2 days ago, but I know they didn't call the police and told me they never called. Hey, call. Even if you say, hey, I don't want to make a report. I know it's no big thing, but I want to tell you, you had my bike stolen
Okay, on
yesterday or
here,
whatever.
how many of you, just say me, if you know, or I do, whatever. How many of you know somebody or have been broke in on? How many of you know
Or
that?
had a burglar at your house,
Yeah.
had your house broken in on, your car broken in, what? How many of y'all here have had something like your shed broken in or your car broken or something like that?
Or a friend or family member, because this is something, okay, Mel Mac has, this is something that Thomas can give you, or I can give you a public service announcement about, because we got some news for y'all.
What?
That burglary unit that was down in Gulf Shores taking pictures.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. I worked even when we were. Let's say a couple. When we were in narcotics, we had. When you're in narcotics, you tend to be assigned to all kinds of stuff because you are pretty proficient at surveillance. And so Tigger is a law able to do anything about with the defunding of police. What the defunding does to it, it makes you hire or you employ less trained people because the defunding, what they do for the defunding is they take training. It's money that we could use for training officers out there in the field how to do better, how to better hand to hand, how better in shooting and all kinds of stuff like that.
And if you don't like the movement that's going on right now to defund the police, then get some people running in your city that think the way you do, or you run.
Yeah. And if you ever have your house broken in on, let me just tell you a little public service announcement.
This is not.
This is
gross.
very true.
It's true.
If you ever have your house broken in where somebody enter your house, take everything in your refrigerator that is open and throw it away. Take everything in your cabinets that is open and throw it away. Get a new toothbrush, throw it away. Get new toothpaste, throw it away. We worked a burglary where they took pictures when they finally found it, where they took pictures and they did all kinds of stuff to their mayonnaise and their peanut butter, their toothbrush.
They put the toothbrush in places that it wasn't supposed to go.
No.
And they put things in the mayonnaise and peanut butter that wasn't supposed to go in there. He had the pictures of it. I didn't see them.
We had, yes, it's so fun. I came home and I said, look, we get our house broken into, we're taking everything in our refrigerator and throwing it in the garbage,
And the insurance company will pay for all that.
And all of this, toothbrush, everything, throw them in the garbage. You just can't tell what these idiots do. A lot of them, they'll vandalize and they'll do all kinds of stuff rather than
so for your
just for what the
families,
heck
for your
is.
family and friends,
Tell them
tell them
about it.
about it, y'all. Just tell them, hey, don't take a chance,
No.
because I just can't even imagine.
But
yeah, wash your bedding too.
yeah, wash your bedding for sure. My satellite dish is turning up there. I don't know what the problem is with that. But with all of these people missing, we got Summer Wells 5-year-olds. We got this boy 5 years old. And these are people are gone. You know what I'm saying? They're without a trace. I just you wonder what's going on out there. It's a high probability that this little boy has been taken, in my opinion, because you're in a neighborhood like that where there's not a lot of things that can like disappear or in like there's not a junkyard that he could have climbed into, or no refrigerator, or it's not a he can climb in a trunk of a car or something like that. I just think that
let me turn it off.
Huh?
Let me turn it off.
Yeah. I mean, you can if you want to. I don't know why that thing's moving around like that. Yeah, but we see, and I'm going to tell you something too. We've looked at that. Me and Dana, since we've been out traveling, we'll drive through a little town and we'll see some little bitty kid or a couple of kids walking out by themselves in the area of town where, I don't know these little towns, but the other day we were driving through that little town and these two little girls.
They looked to be about 7 years old, and it wasn't in a neighborhood. They were playing on the side, little cubby hole there.
By Main Street,
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just so dangerous. And I know a lot of parents think, oh, we live in this small little town. Everybody knows everybody. And I'm sure that's what this thought about this town. But it's just, there's just people out there, evil people in this world.
Well, when we were at the playground, when we were at the campground, I can't get over the number of, and I mean little kids still with training wheels on their bicycles, just riding all over the campgrounds. And the parents were out there barbecuing and drinking their beer and socializing and stuff.
Yeah, and they didn't have their eyes on their kids.
And I'm just like, oh my gosh.
I don't know. I guess that's the only bad thing about working police work as long as I did and seeing all this kind of stuff is you get to see the worst of the worst all the time, from abuse of children to murder victims to accidental deaths to suicides, to all the way up the ladder, back and forth. It's very disheartening, and it's a lot of, you get some PTSD from it. I'm going to tell you that right now.
So one night, our daughter asked, she was 13 years old, and she asked, could she go to the shrimp festival with some of her friends from school? And I told her, no, you can't go down there by yourself. I'll go with y'all, but you can't go by yourself. And she got very upset with me, and all those girls get to go by themselves. And so I always did scenarios with my children. And so I said, okay, let me just give you a scenario. Okay. This was a small island town, but on those shrimp festival weekends, it was nothing to have 300,000 people on the island. And so I said, let me give you a scenario. You're walking around at the shrimp festival, and a man walks up and he puts a knife or a gun in your back and says, go with me or I'm going to kill you. What do you do? And she said, well, I would go with him. And I said, and he would probably rape you and kill you, Mindy. And she said, Mom, this is Gulf Shores. There is nobody going to do that down here. Nobody gets raped in Gulf Shores. And that night, her dad came in. It was about 1 o'clock. He came in, and a young girl had gotten raped at the beach. And I asked him what happened. The exact scenario I had told our daughter. I went in there and I woke her up and I made him tell her what happened. And she looked at me and she said, Mom, how did you know? I didn't know. But with these things, anything is possible. God gave me a scenario for her to know. Listen to Mom.
Yeah, it's really it's good. I mean, she's really enjoying us being up here in Wisconsin with her, and because we don't get to see her near enough, and
well, we hadn't
in the past, but we're definitely going to be more up in this area more. In fact, we are probably coming back through Michigan, and we're going to put off going to Maine in the fall because we cannot get reservations at a place we want to stay. Several other places we want to stay. It's just there's no place hardly out there to stay. So instead of going to Maine, we're going to come back through Michigan and over the top to the UP again. And this time we're actually going to do a whole lot more of the Upper Peninsula.
Jude said it's like the Madeline McCain's parents leaving the kids alone.
Yeah, that to me, that's insane. Yeah,
they were just
who leaves their kids? I don't care if it's next door. Who leaves their kids sleeping in the bed and goes out to eat at a restaurant? Anything could happen. They could choke. They could have something.
They could have woke up.
Well, they could woke up. They could have got something down their throat. I blame the parents as much as the whoever did that to them. And I even said that the parents need to go to jail for that. I mean, who does that? That is so much neglect, child neglect, that it is so much child neglect.
I think they're in a jail of their own making.
Well, I don't care. Can
you imagine?
There's no doubt I think sex offender or something got that child. It's just that is about the most insane thing. A house could have caught fire.
Yeah, that was
the biggest thing is though, she could have got choked. She could have woke up, could have got something down her throat.
Well,
and before they could have got back there, she could have died, or she have woke up choking. You know how kids get.
Or she could have got out of bed and fell down the steps and hurt herself. I mean, anything could have
happened. That's right.
But this little boy has been missing 6 days now, and
I don't know anything about the parents. I don't know what that. I just know they did. They did speak.
I didn't know that. Look at this one. Bitter Pill said, and then to tell the host of the restaurant what time you need the reservation because you're leaving the kids in the hotel room. Oh my gosh,
crazy.
That's even stupider than I thought.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some people say they over medicated her.
Probably did. But this kid, I don't know if we don't know. I haven't found out where the mother was in the Michael case at the time of the disappearance, or that if the father was in there changing the other baby's diaper and the kid escaped outside, then I'm afraid if it's not, you always check the parents or the loved ones first to rule them out. If that's not it, I'm afraid that he was probably taken. It was probably an opportunist type thing. And that's what I said about the Orange children. If first off, I don't believe they were ever in Cal City, California. Those two, Oren and West, and the other one, I don't believe the two brothers were ever there. I think whatever happened to them happened in Bakersfield. But because if it was true and they did get outside and they did disappear, they would have had it on camera, the neighbor's camera. But regardless, I don't think that's it. But with this child, if it just disappears like that, if the father and mother are not involved in the disappearance, then he was probably taken. Opportunity type thing, you know. I hate to say it, but
Yeah, there was a babysitting service that they could have taken the McCains,
yeah,
and they didn't. At that hotel, they could have had a babysitter in there. They had
that's
3 kids. I didn't know that. I thought they had 2. Thanks, Aaron. I didn't know
I
that.
did not know that either.
I knew there was 2.
I know there's a Netflix thing on that right now. I think it's on there.
When it was
I
first,
apologize. I'm yawning.
when
I
it
can't
was
keep
when
yawning.
it was first announced about Monkey, they said the mom was at work, but I don't know that.
Okay, mom's at work, dad's at home taking care of the kids. You know, we all, every one of us, would go back and think we got to rule out the dad. You know, I would have to even say that. We have to rule out the dad. We have to polygraph him. We have to look in his history. We got to interview him, and I'm talking about interviewing. You know, like don't just bring him in and question him. Interview him for, spend about 3 or 4 hours in a chair with him, finding out exactly what happened. Polygraph him if he'll take a polygraph, and then rule him out. If he takes polygraph and passes the polygraph, then at least it doesn't say 100% he's not guilty, but it allows you to go out and pursue any other leads first, And a good FBI polygrapher that does a polygraph won't be fooled. I'm telling you, they will not be fooled. They'll be able to tell if you had anything to do with it. I guarantee it.
There are a lot of rumors, MH. There's a lot of rumors about anything. And when we talk about the parents, the McCain parents, you and I never did anything like that.
Mm.
But we weren't the perfect parents. I mean, it's amazing that our daughter, not our son, but it is amazing that our daughter survived.
Yeah, but we were young, and we used to take Mindy, honestly, as a baby.
7
And
to 9 months old.
old, she would stand across the living room, and I would just pick her up and just throw her to Dana. And she would catch him, and Mindy'd cackle, laugh, and do it again. And we would throw her to me. But I mean, not,
This is across the room.
When I think about that now, we were stupid
Well, we were
doing that.
But just think if Mindy had got trampled by a horse,
Yeah.
they would have
And
said we were the worst parents in the world.
we had 2 horses that one was pregnant and another horse, both females. They would stand out in our front yard and look in there at our deck. We lived on a little farm, and Mindy would go out, and we've got pictures of her standing underneath the horse with her face between their legs, rubbing its belly, talking to that little filly that was inside, sitting on top of the horse when the horse was on the ground, riding bareback on the horse. I mean, when I think about that,
Beach Bum's cousin died.
I'm sorry,
She
Beach Bum.
just got a call.
I'm very sorry, Beach Bum. We'll be praying for y'all. We are very sorry.
He was on hospice.
Hmm.
MH says, sounds like good times for your daughter.
Our
Y'all.
daughter, listen,
She had a childhood.
if she had a childhood, I'd take
Our
her.
son, too.
I'd take her riding on the Wave Runner. Me and her would go out into the Guff on the Wave Runner. Of course, we were very safety conscious. She had a life preserver. I had a life preserver, but she'd always want to go out with the waves. Uh,
Okay.
you know,
Lynn said not to change the subject, but did you see the psychics putting up videos saying Suzanne and Barry were swingers and she was killed by a man she was involved with? That's
let
poppycock,
me
I
tell you
believe.
something, and I know that there's a lot of maybe people on here that believe in psychics and believe the psychics are
I
gonna
thought
do
you
all
was going
this
to say
stuff.
believe in swinging.
No, they believe in psychics and all this kind of stuff. I don't. I'm sorry. Um, Newbie here.
Thanks,
Welcome, Deborah. I appreciate it. See your yes, I am 33 years of service in law enforcement, retired.
Not retired 33 years.
No, I did 33 years and I'm retired. Just curious, did you work the case of Somerville's missing aunt? And you're like, no, that I was in South. What year was that?
That was 10 years ago.
I was in South Alabama at the time. I primarily worked narcotics for about 20 years of my law enforcement, but I worked 10 years and about 5 years in uniform, and then I worked robbery, worked homicide up in North Alabama at a bigger department, and I worked cyber crime detail, and I worked missing persons and stuff like that. But I did not work that case. That was a I think
Hey,
wasn't it a Georgia case or another case like that? I was in Alabama. All of my law
Hey.
enforcement's in Alabama.
Wasn't it at 6:30 a.m. that the little boy went missing?
No, 6:30 p.m.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, I misread that.
It was in the afternoon.
Okay. Well, he is a little tight, so they probably would have been putting him to bed, getting ready to put him to bed.
Yeah.
I mean, I used to put my kids to bed between 7 and 8, give them a bath and all that stuff.
Yeah, and would the parent be working at 6:30?
Well, if you don't know, is she a nurse? Does she work at a
Let me go back up
convenience
here
store?
to this.
I mean, Thanks, Jude, for telling everybody to hit a thumbs up. You can hit a thumbs down if you don't like us, but if you do, please send us an email and tell us how we can improve.
Yeah, absolutely. 5-year-old last seen at 6:30, between 6:30 and 7:15 p.m.
Okay.
Let me see. I'm glad they got the FBI involved. That's a biggie, because with a police department like theirs that has 12 officers, 10 officers, it's a very, very small police department. FBI can bring a lot of things to the table. It can bring forensics. It can bring polygraphers or the polygraphs. It can bring all kinds of technical equipment to search, and they can bring more people there also to search. I know that they are calling for a search with the public. I think tomorrow they're going to meet at the school and search. There are certain areas that they only are searching with law enforcement for whatever reason. That could be because they know that they may have evidence there. I know they drained some ponds or some waterways that are used for runoff, and they drained those completely, and they did not find anything. So at least they didn't find anything. We can just hope and pray that one thing is that.
Let me ask Siri something real quick. Quick. Hey Siri, what time does the sun set in Fruitland, Idaho today?
Mm.
Not Fruit Island. Hey Siri, what time does the sun set in Fruitland, Idaho today? I don't know where Fruit Island is. Can't get Siri to talk to me. Melmac says something's off with the story.
Well, we hope, we always think that because of the fact that, one is what's this kid doing out roaming around at 6:30 at night? But it is kind of off. I mean, it's just not the way you would expect him to be in the house and not be able to get out of the house. But we don't. One thing is we don't know the dynamics of the family.
Yeah.
We don't know if the father is the type to keep a tight rein on the children every minute that he's there, or does he kind of let them do what they want because he's busy doing something else,
Okay, so the sun does not set right now until after 9 o'clock. So
Not here.
No, I just did Idaho for Fruitland, Idaho.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't set here. It's setting earlier. Remember, it's
Yeah.
setting after 8
Well,
now.
they must be at a higher latitude
They are.
than we are.
They are.
Yeah.
So Fruitland. So it wasn't dark at 6:30. They still had
Right, had plenty of light.
plenty of light.
And it was always hard to convince kids to go to sleep when it's light outside.
Not me. I love to go to sleep anytime.
I know, but I remember us
You
telling.
remember?
I remember when we were telling our kids they need to go to bed at 8:30, 9 o'clock, and it to be light outside or whatever.
No, Deborah, they did not say a whole lot. I don't know if it was because they.
But let's
couldn't.
watch that again. The wife first said no, we're not talking, but then she did. But you can see she's upset. But look at the father. Even the father looks like any.
I appreciate you guys. I thank you for being out here today. And having said that, would the family like to speak to this at all? Not.
I just want to thank the community and all the enforcement agencies that have been continuously, tirelessly looking for him. And anybody that has any information, please contact the Fruitland PD. We just want our monkey home. We just miss our baby and we want him home.
Anything helps. Anything.
Okay. Thank you guys. All right.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Outlining the Crime.
And I actually got that from YouTube, but I was going to copy some from that crime. I think it's crime. Her crime YouTube page, and I was going to give her credit, but right now I can't even think of what that is. I'll try to do that and give her credit from the in the narrative for that.
I don't think he was a special needs child.
He doesn't.
There's nothing saying about that.
No, I mean there's no talk about that. The one thing is though, and the thing where I want to get back to is that you remember the mother and father in Alabama that it was about a month ago that their kid turned up missing, and the father came out and gave this kind of statement that was all over the place, and within 24 hours he was under arrest for killing the child. So I can't judge from just that short little interview with his with the police or giving a statement to the public. I can't judge, anything. But we should hope that the parents are not involved, but
Kendall, look what she said.
what? Yeah, right.
No way.
The only swinging I do is from a swing set as a kid.
No way.
Not
You wouldn't
sharing.
catch this body.
Not sharing my wife with anybody. And
No.
I'm not doing
Mm-mm.
that.
No,
No.
that's funny though. Thanks for the laugh.
Yeah.
I'm imagining laughing. The people. Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, never mind.
Uh,
Oh,
Julie, good seeing you.
Doc's had a blood clot.
Where is his blood clot, Julie? Is it in his lungs or his legs or? Karen, I quoted one. See if I can pull it up again. I think in that area they said it was 137. Right here is one page where we've identified 136 sex offenders in his zip code where he lived. So that's a lot. And these, I did look at the offenses too, and they were like sex with a person under the age of 16, rape, bunch of stuff. It was not anything on the ones that I looked at that was, anything to be take lightly. And this place is actually, is out there next to a bigger city too. So there is no telling how many people were sexual offenders in there. And then you got to look at that this city sits on an interstate. So I mean, if somebody wants to just that late at night, if they were looking for something, they're looking to abduct somebody, they could just go over there and start prowling the neighborhoods and jump out, grab him, and that'd be it.
We watched a thing the other night about a guy that was talking on there, and he said, "I didn't go out looking for a child. It was just an opportunity. I saw one, and just took the child."
The ones that have got this pedophilia, they're driven. I've read some stuff where they say they are driven to offend. They can't help themselves. They're sick or whatever. I believe it's a sickness that cannot be cured myself. But well, I
don't know about a lifetime of jail, Anna. I think I've got a pretty good idea. Let our country purchase an island in the middle of some Pacific Ocean, Atlantic Ocean, wherever, and nothing else around, and just drop all of the pedophiles on that island. Just parachute them out, and
that's too good for them.
No. Listen, they can't get off the island.
I know. Put them in all of Supermax.
No, because there'll be some stupid liberal judge one day turn them all loose.
I don't think this world's getting any better soon.
Bitter Pill says just shoot them. Tell them where they can go to look up for the pedophiles in their neighborhood.
Well, you can go to your state. Most of it's on your state attorney general's office has a website, or something like that, or the state, or look under state of, say you live in Alabama, state of Alabama sex offenders list. And most of them, I couldn't find one here on Idaho's, but most of them says they have a map, and they show you a total map. You put in your zip code, and they'll show you street by street where there's sex offenders. But here's the thing too, if there's one that lives within 1,000 feet of your house, by law they've got to notify you in writing. The sheriff's department has to notify you in writing that there's a sex offender living near your house, and they cannot live within 1,000 feet of a school, daycare, that sort of thing.
Yeah,
And
y'all, you need to Google it.
yeah, I couldn't get my computer. I couldn't get my computer to pull them up because it needed Java, which is a Windows program, and I only use Mac. I only use Mac computers. I'm addicted to my Mac computer. I haven't owned a Windows product. Medina has a Windows product, but I don't. Good to see you, Christina.
It's in the post right.
Oh, Christina, do you have? I know that you said Blevins Home in your last name. Do you have is any of your relatives in your family last name Blevins live in Alabama? I know a bunch of.
Did you see what Julie
My
said?
dad knew a bunch of Blevins.
It's in his vein.
Oh, I'm sorry, Julie. I'm very, very sorry.
Yeah, there's a lot that don't register, and there's a lot that hadn't been caught yet. That's the problem. There's a ton that hadn't been caught yet.
But if they don't register, you need to
7
report
inches
them
long.
because they can go to jail. 7 inches long, dangerous. Yes, it is very, very dangerous. Are they going to try to remove it?
Post right. I don't know where that is. So it's behind the right knee. Hmm.
I'm assuming they have it elevated. His leg elevated.
She said she thinks so. She's heard that before.
Mm-hmm.
Christina did.
Mm-hmm. I know some Blevins, and they were very, very good friends of my father in Alabama. Um, very good people.
Yeah, check swimming pools.
Yeah.
You know, swimming pools, and also if your neighbor puts out a refrigerator, a freezer, or anything like that, make
We
sure
have
it's
actually
taped up.
stopped on the road seeing a refrigerator out near for them to pick up, and it's closed. Me and Medina has stopped on the road. We've had tape or rope in the car and gone out, checked it, make sure nothing was in it, which is, you wonder, and then shut it and tape that thing up.
Oh, he's being a difficult patient. Julie, you need to tell Doc we're coming to Idaho. Tell him don't make us come to Idaho and get him up. Well, wait a minute. He might say, "You okay? They got to come get me up."
Tell him he's got to stay well for us. We plan on getting out there.
Anybody heard anything else on Summer?
Hey, let me ask you something. I didn't get to see Chris McDowell's last Chris McDonald's last video.
Knock him out.
Yeah. Why was there a gag order put out on the Summer Wells case? And was it just to the family, or was it law enforcement? What was the deal? I never heard. Only on the boys' case. Okay, well, who's the gag order to? I mean, who's it against? Surely they're not. I mean, who's the gag order to who? Is it for the press? Who's the gag order to? I don't, I never understood that. Just for the family and Candace? Okay. Julie, can they not give him some medicine that's going to dissolve that clot? Hmm. Okay. Well,
On YouTube. Okay, Maddie.
what's that?
Maddie wanted me to go watch something on YouTube.
Okay. I really hate that this thing, it seems like they're dragging it out. Uh, dragging the summer thing out. I don't know. I would hate to think law enforcement doesn't have enough to make an arrest. Yes, and we would like to invite anybody that is here that has not checked out our YouTube channel and that we have for our RV channel. Beach Bum just posted the actual link to it. It's the #1 million mile road trip. We put out a video every Sunday around noon, and we occasionally do live feeds. Julie, thank you very much. You didn't have to do that. Thank you very
Thanks,
much,
Julie.
Julie. But we'd appreciate you going over there and subscribing. We're just one person away from having 600 subscribers, and
She said her house was broke into and she walked in on him, Teddy's mom.
Teddy, what happened after you walked in on that guy?
Christina, the kitty cat is doing good. In fact, if you go over to the 1 million mile road trip, he did a video right before we came on here.
A little short.
Yeah, a little short video that I put up on our 1 million mile because a lot of people have been asking.
Thanks, Lake Superior Girl. I really appreciate it. MH, thank you very much for the super sticker. We do appreciate it. But what I'm trying to get, it'll be a long time before I have 4,000 hours of watch time on that channel to get monetized, and it really doesn't affect anybody but YouTube paying me for the ads that they put on my channel right now. But I'm just trying to build up the subscribers. We enjoy doing that. Really, really enjoy doing that channel. It's really not. They last about 20 minutes over there. We did a live feed last Wednesday. There's a possibility we may do one tomorrow night. We're not 100% sure on that, but I appreciate that, Mel Mac. I really do. Absolutely.
And I think when we go off tonight, you've got a video tonight for them, don't you?
Yeah, I've got a video. We took Maggie.
Come on, you can get it right. Maggie.
We took Maggie to a dog park, water park today. Actually, it was they've got this big quarry that flooded out there, and they've made it into a place where people go and swim. It's a park. The city keeps it up, and they have a scuba diving area. They do scuba diving in, but they have a place that they just let the dogs go, and they had a blast out there. But it's about 60 seconds long, a little film at the very end. I will put that out there. We want to ask to thank you. We really appreciate everybody subscribing to this. The park for the dog thing was in
Menominee, Wisconsin.
Yeah, Menominee, Wisconsin.
It's Menominee Park in Wisconsin.
It's just about
in Menominee.
It's about 30 miles west of Milwaukee.
Yeah, Yeah.
about 30 miles west of Milwaukee, and you can see it. It was awesome.
Maybe
It
it's
was
the art
awesome.
tool.
You saw Maggie playing in the water, Dorothy?
Yeah. Well, I posted.
Okay.
I posted on Instagram. Maybe that's
Okay,
it.
maybe that's it.
Oh, Debbie Snyder lives near there.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Menominee Falls Park. There's a group of people that go every day, and there is the
Yeah.
cutest little brown Labrador
Yeah, he
puppy.
was about 5 months old or so, 6 months old, and he just
What's his name
played
again?
Rambo.
Rambo.
He played with Maggie.
Oh, he kept running up and grabbing Maggie.
And they played together
Yeah.
today.
What's the other
I'm gonna
channel?
ask-
Bitter Pill says, "What's the other
Okay,
channel?"
the other channel, Beach Bum. Can you post that one more time for me? The other channel name, our other channel name, the 1 million mile road trip, the whole thing, and he can just copy it. It's a 1 million mile road trip, but Beach Bum has it.
Yeah, I don't have
Where
that.
she can put. There it is. That's exactly if you want to just highlight it and copy it, or I don't know if you can click on it or not, but
You can. If you click on it, it takes you.
okay. It'll take you over there. I want to ask y'all to pray for Julie and Doc. Doc, we really feel like that through prayer that Doc can be healed, and we're going to ask you to pray for Doc.
Yeah, because we got to meet up. We're going to try to meet up with some of you people in the different towns and cities that we come to and states.
And Doc and them have invited us out to see them, and we're going to do our very best to get out there and see them. And actually, they have a park, a national park, not far from their house called Craters of the Moon. And I want to go see that too.
You always did want to go to the moon.
Yeah, I do.
He thinks he wants to get on that.
Yeah, you know, they've been advertising to take a ride on that spacecraft that, either Musk or Amazon's guy is putting on where you.
It wasn't Elon. I think it was Amazon.
It may have been Amazon, Elon Musk or Amazon, where you apply to see if you can go up in space. They got 2 empty seats. That would be awesome to do that. It'd be once in a lifetime thing to do that.
Tina Poodle said, "Swing by Madison. I'll take you out to lunch."
Ah, you're not too far from
No,
us.
you're not too far. We were going to go to Green Bay one day.
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk Tommy into going to Old World, Wisconsin to show y'all that place. It's really neat.
There's your cooking channel.
Yeah. So, somebody's slow on doing the videos for the cooking channel.
I've been busy.
Okay, Beach Bum not Beach Bum. Lake Superior wants to know what's your email. Whose email?
Our
Is it ours?
email. Give them this one. Put it there. You can do it either one.
Well, I'll do this one.
Okay. Missing live stream at Gmail. Missing live stream at Gmail, not the missing live stream at Gmail.
It is the missing live stream.
It's missing. What is it? Yeah, the missing live. The missing live
Lord,
stream
y'all.
at gmail.com
Oh,
or
Lord.
1 million mile road trip at gmail.com. Either one.
What happened? I don't know what's going on.
Are we still live?
Okay, just so y'all know,
Thank you.
thank you.
We do appreciate it.
We are going to say a prayer for the missing and for Doc and Julie. So if prayer bothers you, then you can go ahead and bow out now. It won't offend us at all. We don't want to offend you, but we are a praying couple. We believe in the power of God. We believe that with God, all things are possible. And we just want to come and pray right now. We want to pray for these 2 little children that are missing and their families that are hurting so bad. So if that's okay, let's say a prayer, and then Tommy will show you the puppy
Video.
dogs. Okay? Father, we come to you right now, and God, we just thank you for who you are. God, you are our Abba Father, and we know that we can cry out, Abba Father, and that you hear us. Your word says in Jeremiah 33:3, call on me, and I will show you great and mighty things which you do not know. God, in your word in Psalms 139 says that you created us for a purpose. You created us in our mother's womb, and that you know every word we're going to say, every thought we're going to have, every hair on our head. God, you know everything about us. You know all the days that we're going to live. And God, right now we come to you for Doc, and we ask God that you pour your healing oil over and through him from the top of his head to the soles of his feet, that you cause every part of his body to line up and work the way you designed it to. God, we pray for this blood clot. We pray that it will dissolve. We pray that he'll have no issues from that. And God, we don't know what all's going on in Doc's body, but you do. And God, you created this man. And so, God, we ask that you just bring healing to his body. God, we ask that you give Julie strength and peace and joy and laughter and love to fill her home. And that, God, you'll give her the strength it takes to take care of Doc right now in this difficult time. God, we come to you for these children that are missing, not just for Summer and for Michael or little Monkey, not just for those two, God, but for all the children that are missing. And God, Summer's been missing for so long. And God, she needs to come home. There needs to be a resolution to this. God, there's a lot of fear of not knowing, but God, you know, she's not hidden from you, and neither is Monkey. And God, I pray right now in Jesus' name that there will be a coming home for these children. And God, I pray that they'll both be alive. I pray that, God, that you will bring them home alive. But God, whatever the answer is, just bring them home. God, we pray for the children that are going to be out there tonight and tomorrow. And God, there are so many missing, Father. It just seems like every day there's just that many more missing children and women and men, young men. And so, God, we ask right now that you would lift up the skirts of this country and show the evilness that is there. Expose it to light, because that's the only way it can be cleaned out. And God, we don't know how high this sickness goes. We believe it goes very high in our country, God. And so we ask that you lift up the skirts like you did for Israel. Lift it up and clean it out. Expose it to the light. And God, bring our nation back to its knees. God, I pray that we will have revival break out, and there will be a fire revival, God, that will burn this nation up. God, that there will be a hunger for your word, for your presence, and that, God, you will bring us to our knees, and that we will cry out to you, and you will answer us, because your word says that you will. That even while we're still praying, you will answer. And so, God, we praise you and we thank you, and we look forward to the answer to our prayers. And God, for the ones that are on here that are praying for their needs, God, because we don't know everyone's needs, I pray that you would answer them also. God, we will give you all the praise, all the glory, and all the honor that is due you. And we are just thankful, Father, that we're able to call you Abba Father. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. All right, here's a little short video with the dogs today. They had an awesome time. We appreciate you coming tonight. We love you, and we hope to see you on Thursday. God bless y'all.
Right. Usually what I look like.